Hello and thank you for joining me. My name is Alan. So you've built your bug out bag. Everything that you think you're going to need to sustain you for X amount of time. It's all packed, sitting by your front door, ready to rock and roll. But are you really ready? If you've got no plan and you haven't thought of destinations that you can travel to in the event of an emergency, then unfortunately you are just a refugee. Now at the end of the day, nobody knows exactly what we'll do or what will cause us to leave our property to seek a safer location. And it could be that becoming a refugee is on the cards. It's a worst case scenario, but something that you'd have to deal with. But because we're preppers, we want to actually pre-plan and make plans of where we're going to go depending on what type of incident occurs and how local that incident is. Is it a personal incident? And when I say personal, that could be something like your house catching fire, in which case your evacuation, it could be to a local friend's, a family member, or a hotel, something like that. If, however, it's regional, and when I say regional, I'm actually going to sort of bend the rules slightly and say perhaps regional is your neighbourhood, your street, or even up to your county, where potentially it isn't just you and your family that's a victim of whatever's happened. There could be hundreds, if not thousands of people in the same boat. And again, that will dictate on where you're going to go, or where at least you plan to go. And then of course you've got national emergency. If you listen to the podcast War Games, unfortunately in this day and age it is not an unrealistic scenario. So if you live fairly close to a military target or critical infrastructure or an airport, then there is every possibility, if it went down that route, that you would have to leave your current location. So what are we going to do? Prepping isn't just about buying stuff, isn't just about buying shiny kit, though admittedly we love doing that if we can afford to. And it's also not about just getting 12 months worth of food and storing water and first aid kits. It isn't just about buying stuff. We need to actually sit down and think and devise a plan. If A happens, what are we going to do to mitigate that problem? And if we are forced to leave our home because of the threat to life is there, where are we going to go? How are we going to get there? And once we arrive, how are we going to be able to sustain ourselves? Your average bug out bag is geared around the special 72 hours. If you go back to say category 1, when I said it's a personal problem, then you might only really have to sustain yourself for say 24 hours. That'd give you a good safety net, because although your world's fallen apart, if your house is burnt down or something like that, everyone else's is still ticking along. So you need stuff to get you over that initial problem. If it happens in the middle of the night, you need to be able to see the night out. But then you're still going to have infrastructure. There's still going to be shops. You can still buy stuff. Life is still pretty normal for everyone other than you, unfortunately. If it's that neighbourhood or even a county-wide, then obviously that problem is worse. You're going to have to travel beyond the problem area into an area that you feel is safer. And again, at that point, you can probably still get running water, still purchase food, still do normal things. But you're going to need to have items in your kit that will sustain you from the moment you leave your home until you arrive at your safe or safer perceived location, your bug out location. And of course, if it's a national event, as in Poophead has decided to launch a conventional attack on the UK, as in the War Game podcast, then you really have got a problem, because where are you going to go? Are you going to be able to get there, or has a travel ban been placed? Are you willing to run the gauntlet? Is there going to be that much congestion that your vehicle that you've loaded up and gone in can't actually get to where you need to go? Do you have to resort to, travelling on foot? And let's be honest, I don't know, if you've got friends or family or a bug out location and it is 100 mile away, 200 mile away, and your vehicle driving is no longer viable, and you've got to do Shank's pony, you've got to hoof it, you've got to walk, are you realistically going to get there? Can you get there? And more importantly, if you've got to travel 200 mile on foot, how are you going to sustain yourself? These are all things that preppers need to think about in advance. Now, going back to the nationwide event and the War Game podcast, it may just be that if you live in Uxbridge or somewhere close to Heathrow, perhaps, or that military target, or critical infrastructure, or Felixstowe Port, something like that, if there's prior notice of an imminent attack, which we hope we'll get, then you may decide it is a safer option to grab your bug out bag and your family and go to the local woods and bivvy up until the attack is over. If we look at Ukraine and places like that have suffered the aggression of, Putin and his cronies, it's not a 24-hour aerial attack. So you haven't got incoming missiles constantly for 24 hours. They may launch missiles, and then, those missiles are devastating towns and cities. But that initial attack might only last 20 minutes. And I know I'm saying only, but I mean, you know what I'm getting at. There may be another wave, half an hour later. But what I'm trying to get at is the attack is probably, the attack is probably only going to last a fairly short period of time. So if you do go and bivvy in the woods for a night, and then once the attack has stopped, perhaps return to your home to see if there's any damage and carry on until the next one, and then perhaps repeat it. I don't know if that's feasible, but it's an option. What do you think? Is that something that you would consider doing? This brings us along to also, if you're a single person and you've done a bit of wild camping or a bit of bushcraft, then you're going to be pretty comfortable in bivvying up under a bush in the middle of a roundabout, in a little bit of woodland somewhere, or whatever. But if you're a family person, if you've got a significant other and some rugrats or some teens or whatever ages they are, have they experienced wild camping or stealth camping, whatever you want to call it? Would they be able to cope? Would you be able to cope with perhaps them being unable to cope? These are all questions that you need to be asking yourselves now, while you can sit down in your comfy armchair, sipping a brew. Because if you don't, and you leave it to the 11th hour when your phone has just gone off with that alert to say that there is a problem incoming, or your smoke alarm has woken you up at 3 o'clock in the morning, then it's too late for you to plan. All you can do is react to the immediate problem. And that isn't what prepping's about. I hope you found this video useful. and it's giving you food for thought. In the not too distant future, I will be doing another bug out bag video. I've already done one on an evac pack that hopefully you've already seen. If not, go and check it out. That covers really personal issues, problems, house burnt down, something like that, or perhaps there was an incident in your street that you had to evacuate your property at short notice, and it's really there to sustain you for 24 hours, maybe 48 hours at a push, but relatively a short time period. I do actually have, because I have too much kit, which I know that not everyone has, but I do have another bug out bag, and that is geared for much more serious problems, perhaps that county-wide or nationwide problems, where in an ideal world we'd be going to a bug out location, but if we couldn't, then it gives us options to do something else. But that's something for in the future. And likewise, there is coming up fairly soon a video that hopefully will help you in actually thinking about bug out locations. Anyway, if you found this video useful, please give us a thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. Hit the notification bell, blah, blah, blah. It will be really appreciated. And I'd love to read your comments. It is great to sit on YouTube looking at people's bug out bags, and in some cases replicating them or taking parts of theirs, parts of Fred's and parts of Harry's, and building your own. It is good fun. But you need to have a plan, and you need to have destinations to go to if there is a problem. Let's read in the comments. What are your plans? Have you got any? Share. Take care. See you soon.